broadcast today, Insanely Layer 13. I'm being joined by a very interesting driver, Mr. Anderson. Anderson, you're a former X3 driver. You're having a great run in both XRL and X2 right now. Now you get, step back and see things from the other side a bit here in the booth. It's great to have you here. What can we expect from today's race, in your opinion?
I don't know. I've not watched X3 in a long time. Just peeking around the standings though. As you said, I used to drive in X3, but got moved to X2. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Brazil's. I wasn't looking forward to Brazil from my own perspective, but now I am. Even for X2 as well. So I'm buzzing for this.
All right. Well, we're looking at what seems to be a full grid for today's race. So full grid, and we've been getting word that there's been a lot of rain over a lot of the support races and the various other leagues like X and A. Before this, we also saw in qualifying, there was, for the realistic event yesterday, there was rain. Sadly, you didn't see it, obviously. You crashed out in qualifying before the rain even came, but there was rain in qualifying for the realistic event yesterday, so we could be looking at a lot of interesting scenario here. Rain at this race, at a track that's already very slick and hard to stay within track limits at, it could make a normally difficult race excessively so.
Yeah, rain at Brazil isn't fun, especially for all the corners. But even still, it'll be a good race to watch if it is that way.
All right. So now everyone's beginning to ready up, and we're going to get onto the circuit very shortly here. A few drivers will be serving qualifying bans from this event. V8 Iron, sadly, got his win at Mexico stripped. He pulled off a brilliant defense, but was decided by the stewards that he was moving under braking as in a reactive block rather than a proactive block going into the stadium section at Mexico. Henceforth, he would end up getting the win stripped from him, and he would end up being pushed down the order. That meant that Shelby Spark, who ended up coming home second, actually ends up getting the win post-race. That has significantly turned the championship hopes in his favor, doubly so with Stone Shuffle not even being close to the podium positions, and XRL Gusty not getting any points in last week's race. So, yeah, the championship fight continues to take on many various strange dimensions. We've had various points in the season where it seemed like Shelby would dominate, then it seemed like Gusty is going to dominate, then it's turned to Stone Shuffle, who's come from a massive deficit to contend for the title. Now it seems like favoritism might be swinging back in Shelby's favor. So, Drivers' Championship, very interesting to watch. The one that's becoming a little bit easier and easier to see clearly now, though, is Manufacturers' Championship. And I'll go over the points a little bit more after qualifying is over. But in the Manufacturers' Championship, we've been seeing more and more dominance from the Ferrari team. Even when one Ferrari doesn't do very well, the other one almost always ends up blocking themselves up into the podium positions. While the Aston Martin team, they've had great qualifying, but their ability to convert that into good race results has been iffy, to say the least. All right, so a wet weather qualifying session 1 here, and already I'm seeing the first driver coming out onto the circuit. That's going to be the Haas of XRL Breezy. Oh no, and he's wrecked it, and he's destroyed his car coming out of the pit lane.
Wow.
And the first DNF for the day is XRL Breezy, immediately destroying the car before even getting out onto the track.
Wow.
Schumacher SF7 retires as he's serving a qualifying ban. Reach out. Please go ahead and try to reach out to XRL Breezy. Let's see if we can get a word from his perspective. But that was extremely unlucky. Just put the power down right after the first turn. The rears just did not grip whatsoever. And he just went right into the inside wall. And it destroyed the front wing, destroyed the front suspension and everything.
I've sent the invite to try to get him in. Oh, someone's gone off.
The rain here today. Oh yeah, that's Stone Shuffle who's off circuit. No, that's Herbago. Sorry, not Stone Shuffle. That's Herbago. So the track completely soaked, and the rain is coming down sideways from a lot of the camera angles I'm seeing on board. So Yeah, this is going to be a very, very difficult run. I would not be surprised if we saw a few people go ahead and decide to throw on a set of full wet weather tires, potentially.
Yeah. Trying to get information about the race weather, but don't seem to have any luck with that.
XRL Snake now crossing the line to begin his flying lap in the McLaren, so he's going to try and be the first person to set a time here. But what we're going to do is we're going to ride on board the AlphaTauri of Wild Nissan DTR, see what a lap in the wet here at Brazil is like, riding on board with him as we go silent in the booth for about a lap's time.
Just hit the first time with a 1:17.2.
And he will now be joined at the top of the timesheets by Wild Nissan GTR with a 1:17.905. Snake ended up having to abort his lap, and Chubby Spark breaks the 1:17 barrier, 1:16.812 for him, as Dilebend in the Haas comes across the line with a 17.453 now.
I will be back in 2 minutes.
Oh, Boothy's had a spin right there coming out of the last corner, and he hits the outside wall trying to get the car straight again. Now, speaking of dislocation on the track, XRL Jan, also known as Jan Maneuver, did a little bit of foraging, did a little bit of exploration during practice earlier this week. He found out that if you actually spin in the right way off of that corner, you can actually beat your car and get permanently stuck on a small hill that's in the runoff. And the hill's just close enough to the race circuit that there's no way to properly respawn the car onto the racetrack, but you can end up being high-centered with your tires off the ground. So credit to Jan Maneuver for finding that. That could be a big issue later on. And there's been an issue. That is Dilebend, who has had an incident, and he's not the only one. It looks like a Alpine, I think that's Air Max, had an issue there as well, just ahead. Now, it looked like there were two separate issues at the same corner of the racetrack, but Irriga's definitely going to make things difficult. Oh, Dilebend off circuit again now. I think right now he's just trying to let other people go so he can safely get into the pits. He has front wing damage. The good news for Dilebend, though, is that he has set a time at least. Boothie, one of the best Oh, yes, I didn't notice that, but the McLaren has now jumped up to a 1:16.859. So 3 drivers in the 1:16.8 range at this point in the session. Here comes Boothie 116, one of the premier qualifiers in X3. Trying to race on down the... Oh! And he's had an accident. He's spun coming out of turn 3 and ended up stopping right in front of the pit lane exit, and he's been unfairly disqualified for that.
That's a shame.
And now there are yellow flags in all sorts of sectors, and Meerkat has been disqualified, but his AI has taken over the car, and now it's causing even more headache because there's about 4 or 5 cars trying to get by him that the AI is blocking. And he's not the only one, because there's an Alpine that's pulled off. Now the Red Bulls can't figure out what's going on. Here comes the Mercedes.
The bag was just went in back one of the wheels. I think it was plastic here.
And Plastic Glove's gone off circuit, and the two Red Bulls of Gusty and Plastic Glove are trying to do some drafting shenanigans, so they're both going extremely slow on the track, trying not to lose each other, but all they're really doing is just losing more and more time. This has gone chaotic. Mantic Meerkat's disqualification for what realistically was a nothing has now turned into a massive stack up for at least 5 different drivers. For Air Max, this could be a little bit problematic because he's in the middle of a flying lap right now in that Williams, and all those very slow Red Bulls are just a little bit farther up the road from him. Dave Ewart now crosses the line. He's going to begin a flying lap. And I guess I was wrong. Maybe Flavor's not serving a qualifying ban. I thought he was. So he is out on circuit trying to set laps. Well, 20 drivers went into the session. We're only about halfway through, and already we know 3 of them who will not make it to the next round, period. Breezy, Schumacher, and Mantic Meerkat. But at this point, 9 drivers... Oh, Dave Ewart's gone off circuit in the middle of his flying lap. That's not going to help him whatsoever. Yeah. So, 10 drivers have set their times. The top 15 will advance. So, we're still waiting on Dave Ewart, although he's invalidated his lap, Constant Jet, V8 Irons, and Collie Boy to set their flying laps. In fact, here comes Collie Boy. He's coming out of the final corners now. He had a 59.095 at the end of Sector 2. Now it's pretty much flat out on the run to the start-finish line for him.
Coolie Boy did a lot there, but then it didn't set it because it went off track on the straight at the end. So he's invalidated that lap and also the next lap. He's had a nightmare there.
And that is one difficulty we've seen time and time again here at Brazil. And that's another AlphaTauri. That's Flavor, who has gone off and spun there in Sector 2. It's very difficult to control your car in the wet here in Sector 2. This section of the circuit, there's a lot of torque that you have to use to kind of move yourself through the circuit. Yeah. But yeah, you have to put a lot of torque down to get your way through the circuit with speed. But if you don't have picture-perfect control, it's very easy to spin yourself out through there. So Dave Ewart now trying to get another lap going right now. Snake and Plastic Glove have both aborted their attempts, but Plastic Glove is coming back out onto the circuit now as we speak. Constant Jet has finally set a time 118.244. For Constant, he has attended nearly... and he invalidates almost right away. For Constant, it's been a very rough season. He has not been able to score a single point yet this entire season. And the frustrating thing is, like, it's not like he's totally irrelevant. He's been hanging out in, like, the 11th to 15th range almost every single race. Whenever he is running at the finish, he's just always 1 or 2 spots short. And that's just been all that's been keeping him from scoring points this season. Clock's running out rapidly. He's going to want to turn that around. What in the world is going on there? That is Wild Nissan GTR who has pulled off circuit. I don't know if he spun off or if he's backed off so that way he can try to give his teammate Flavor a drift. No, it looks like he spun off or something. Nuttiness coming out of turns 4 and 5. Well, Plastic Glove and XRL Snake are both on outlaps right now. Ocean Lion is in a flying lap, and Collie Boy is also on a flying lap right now. Collie Boy low on fuel. If he's going to commit to his own irons!
Oh,
Irons has had an accident! And one of the fastest drivers over the last several races, V8 Irons, has had an accident there in Sector 2 that has totally taken him out. Do you think you'll be able to get Irons into the party real quickly?
Yeah, I'll do it, though.
Well, that changes things even farther because now it looks like there may only be 14 drivers in because Irons had one of the top 5 fastest times. Plastic Glove, right now, he's in the middle of an invalid lap, so it's not working out well for him. Snake is in the middle of the lap. Ocean Lion coming down to complete his right now. Lion sets the time, 117.147. So it looks like he's in pretty safely. Flavor is on the bubble with Snake and Plastic Glove trying to squeeze him out.
I've invited Irons, but I'm not too sure if he's going to join. Plastic's having a spin as well.
So it looks like it's just going to be a matter of can Snake bring it all together to get ahead of XRL Flavor at the line.
We'll go second.
Does he ever? 116.381. The only man faster on track right now is Fiend with a 115.970. So for Plastic Glove, he has to chase Dave Ewart's time of 18.122. So it seems like a scenario where if you're in the 117 range, you will make it to the next round of qualifying, assuming you don't tear up the car. .668 for Plastic at the end of Sector 1. Air Max in pit lane has elected to throw on a set of soft tire compounds, but I definitely see a lot of rain still falling, and the track definitely looks wet. I don't think there's any real value or advantage in trying to run out there on softs. Around and into the inside wall. He'll wait just long enough to let other drivers pass. As he comes into camera frame there, let's see if there's any front wing damage on that machine.
I think he's missing an end
Yeah. Yep. Front wing downforce extremely crucial in this game. You could kind of make do with missing an end plate in the last game, but in F1 2021, you basically are required to have that front wing in picture perfect condition. So for Flavor, with only 3 minutes left in the session, he'll come into the pits now, and I hate to say it, I think there's no chance that he's going to be able to make it. No, he stays out another lap. He might not be aware that he has front wing damage.
Yeah.
Well, he's finally set time also, 142.566, so I guess there's that going for him as well.
He didn't validate it. I thought he didn't validate it, that. And he's down and he's down. It says.
Well, he'll make a lot of that time back in Sector 2 if he avoids having an incident, but still, I don't think he's going to even be in the 120. I think he'll probably be like 121 at lap end.
Yeah.
Again, in the Alpine pit, Air Max, they went ahead and have thrown on a set of soft tires on that car. No indication, though, that he's going to leave pit lane, but still very bizarre scenario there. I don't know what they're doing over there. All right, fuel lights flashing for Plastic Glove. So yeah, I think right now he's just trying to do this lap out of spite more than anything else. Oh, and DRS has been enabled!
Let's try.
And with 1 minute and 45 seconds left, that could be enough. Plastic Glove might be able to squeeze his way in. Not yet, but he's at 120.321. He has a damaged front wing, and he's low on fuel. But if he has enough fuel to make another lap and he can engage the DRS, he might be able to get a decent lap in. A good enough lap to squeeze out some of the drivers on intermediate tires. Everything has just gone totally upended at the very end of this session. He's up by a quarter of a second alone at the end of Sector 1, but he had a big twitch there in Sector 2. He just needs to hold it together and put down a great blistering time down the main straightaway. He's not the only one out there, though. Flavor has come out on circuit, but with less than a minute left, I don't see anyway, and Flavor goes around! Dave Ewart has spun. Dave's gone on track, but he's spun. He's not going to be able to do anything. There's a Haas, I think that's wild. No, that's Dave. I'm sorry, it's not a Haas. That's Dave. Dave's ripped off his front wing. He's trying to go out there. There's still a chance for Plastic Glove. He can just not invalidate this lap. He needs to find about 2 seconds using DRS here. I don't think it's going to happen because he's down by a full second alone at the end of Sector 2. The front wing damage is... Oh, and he's out of fuel. He has run out of fuel in Sector 3 now. But Airmax did time it very well because he is now out on circuit with soft tires. He'll have the advantage of DRS. I think Airmax is going to go right to the top here of the timesheets. He is being held up a little bit by the Williams. That was Stone Shuffle who had gone out, and he was on, well, Stone Shuffle was actually still on a set of intermediates. But yeah, I think Airmax is probably going to go to the top with a time in the 111s, 110s.
Collie Boy's done the same thing. He went in softs, was about to start his flying lap and went off the track in the straight and invalidated. So, but yeah, I think he's safe anyway. He is safe.
Yeah, realistically, with the fact that Plastic Glove damaged that front wing in his spin earlier, it's basically neutered any chance that he had of squeezing into the next round. For Airmax, though, there's not really a massive benefit here to going hard in Q1 like this, but he wants to showcase the actual speed and ability that he has, apparently, and he flies across the line. His time will be 1:13.233, easy top time.
I think he's safe. And I think that's it. That is it.
Yeah, with that in mind, that will be the conclusion of Q1. A very interesting end to the session. Not a whole lot of changes, but very interesting to say the least. I didn't notice that the track was drying out like that. Also, I think I said earlier that Airmax was driving an Alpine. I'm wrong. He was driving a Williams. There are way too many light blue cars in this game, and there are way too many teams in Formula 1 that start with, there are two words that start with an A, and I get them all mixed up all the time. All right. So, when it comes down to it, Airmax is the only driver to advance to the next round of the soft tires with 1:13.233. Then it's followed by Fiend in the Alpine with a 15.9, Snake in the McLaren, Herbago in the Merc, Gusty in the Red Bull, Shelby Spark in the Ferrari, Gelebend in the Haas, Ocean Lion in the Williams, Stone Shuffle in the Mercedes, Collie Boy in the Alfa Romeo, Boothie in the Aston Martin, Constant Jet in the Alpine, while Nissan GTR in the AlphaTauri, and Dave Ewart in the Alfa Romeo. The 6 drivers that will not advance, Mantic Meerkat got disqualified because the game's stupid. Schumacher and Breezy are serving qualifying bans. Breezy crashed out. Schumacher serving qualifying ban. Plastic Glove and Flavor were just not fast enough, and V8 Irons crashed out after saying a competitive lap time. So, yeah, that was an interesting session, but now the track's going to be green, relatively dry, but it's going to be green, so that means that laps that are set early on here in Q2 will not be as fast as laps set later on in Q2 when there's a little bit more rubber on the racetrack. All right, it looks like Dave Ewart's going to be the first driver to get out onto the circuit. And it looks like he will be joined by the Mercedes of Herbago. One other thing to watch, Chubby Spark likes to do a little thing in qualifying. He'll go out and set a banker lap on the soft tire compounds, but that banker lap he will use absolutely no ERS whatsoever. It will all just be what the tires have to offer and what DRS shows him. And then after that, he normally waits until near the end of the session, goes out on medium tires, but lays hard into the ERS then. And in a situation like this, where the track's just going to get more and more grip as this session goes on, I think this might favor him very well. Wild Nissan GTR, he's out on circuit as well, as is championship contender XRL Gusty. So of your 3 championship contenders, Stone Shuffle has not yet left pit lane. In the AlphaTauri, that would be Nissan, who pulls off to stay out of Gusty's way. He wants more clean track around him. Alright, so Dave crosses the line. He will try and be the first driver to set a lap time. There's also the Haas of Jelebin. He is coming out of pit lane right now. I'm just going to go ahead and say this. I really don't like the pit lane exit here. I know it's kind of like in the I know it's like a necessary evil because there's no proper way to merge onto the track where the pit lane actually ends, but yeah. I hate it. I really do. Alright, well anyways, and that means then that the first driver to set a lap time, that dedication will go to Herbago.
He spun up.
Oh, and Dave's gone around. Sector 2. Thankfully, there's enough clean track around him. Not a whole lot of cars on the circuit right now, so he'll still be able to turn back around and going again. But yeah, track is still green. It's not wet, but there's almost no rubber on it, so it's really hard to get maximum proper grip. All right, Herbago comes across the line in the Mercedes, 108.611. That's closer to the times that we are expecting to see here. Now we're going to see, I believe, Collie Boy. Well, Collie Boy is invalidated as well, actually. So then it goes to Shelby Spark, and Shelby is doing his normal thing. He's not touching the ERS whatsoever. And he will set a time 110.477. That's not a horrible time, but it's not going to get him into Q3 by any stretch of the imagination. All right, and now the focus goes to Wild Nissan GTR. He jumps up in the middle of them, 109.008. Gusty to the top, 108.207. Now, Stone Shuffle is in the middle of a lap. There's an Alpine off circuit. That is Constant Jet. He's moved over to let the Ferrari go by. Air Max, who timed it right to get a great lap in the prior session, is on circuit now in the Williams. Clean track ahead of him, clean track behind him. He's already laying hard into the ERS. 16.953 at the end of Sector 1. See the Red Bull of Gusty pulls off ahead of him to give Air Max more clean room. Jelebin has set a time 108.605. Collie Boy has finally got a time 108. Satan. Stone Shuffle also in the 108s right now. All right, here comes Air Max to the line. He'll try and be the 9th driver to set a lap time in the session. DRS pops open at the line, 108.402. So he very plainly has speed in that car beyond just being lucky and clever when it comes to tire and DRS choice. He's the second fastest guy thus far in this session. Constant Jet, he's in the middle of a lap right now. Still on his quest to try and earn at least a single point this season. Being able to start in the top 10 would help significantly in that quest. Right now, he needs to, I would say, if you set a time in the 108s, you're pretty much locked into getting into Q3. And he invalidates! He's into the wall! Hard into the wall! Right there, coming out of the final corner, and the car is destroyed! There's a wing right in the middle of the circuit. The McLaren of Stink runs over it in the process, but Constant Jet is going to be relegated to a 14th place starting position and a massive accident! Frustration for Constant Jet. as his teammate XRL Fiend is now coming to the line. Fiend now beginning his flying lap. Boothie, Snake, Ocean Lion, all in the middle of laps right now. Boothie sets a time, 109.103. All right, coming to the party now is Constant Jet. Constant, go ahead and include your audio. Massive accident there. What happened?
I hit the curve a bit too aggressively. I've done it in the lot, but it did not spin me off like it did with the swim, so yay! My weekly chat was insane!
Alright, well, Constant, again, you still are setting, you've started nearly every race this season, have not yet earned a point yet this season, and being relegated to a 14th place starting spot. That's not going to help you greatly, but do you think you have a plan and have the ability to get into the points paid positions by race in?
Yeah. Oh, I thought, but there's something that just telling me this track was going to be good for me, but well, I was going to be able to hopefully I'll get some points.
Hopefully you do, yeah.
A great king who once ruled over his people in the land of Madagascar before being put inside of a wide-open enclosure in New York City once said, "Who needs a plan? I have confidence." So hopefully that works out for you today, Constant.
Yeah, there's going to be something today. I can feel it. Hopefully I'll finish the race in the points, but if I don't, on the next week. The best possible place is probably Abu Dhabi, so hopefully there I will get some points.
Alright, well, Constant, hopefully I don't have to talk to you again in the middle of the race, or if I do, it's in a hyper-chaotic race where you still finish 90% of the race distance and would be scored at the top 10 finish. I would like to see you earn at least 1 point this season.
Hopefully it's at the end of the race, congratulating me on first place.
I like your confidence. Alright, well, we'll see if we can talk to you later in that scenario.
Yeah,
good luck.
See you in a bit. Bye.
Alright, well now Constant's teammate XRL Fiend has jumped to the top of the timesheets with a 107.683. He's the only driver to get into the 107 mark, and this has kind of been Fiend's entire thing this whole season. He will put down great runs in qualifying, he'll put down great runs in the race, but he has a very, very rough time of actually finishing the events. He was considered a championship threat earlier, but he went through about 5 DNFs in a row, and that's taken him out of championship contention, and now he's just struggling to fight with the likes of Schumacher SF7 and V8 Irons to hold on it to a 4th or 5th place finish in the Drivers' Championship. It's been a rough season for him.
Yeah, we've got Chubby starting his lap now on these mediums.
And this is the one where he starts abusing the ERS significantly more, so we will likely see him up on time. There's also going to be a lot more grip in the track. Another driver who's doing the same thing right now is Airmax 8841. He has the medium tires equipped, but Airmax is also still in pit lane at the moment. I think he's going to wait to see what Chubby can do before he goes out, because there might not be an advantage in throwing on a set of mediums and going out there if the mediums don't have the pace. Now the advantage for Chubby is that if, even with the ERS usage, the medium tires are not fast enough to get him out there is enough time left that he could decide to quickly abort, throw on another set of softs just to get himself into Q3. But Chubby really likes to start races on medium tires if it can help it. He's up by 8/10 at the end of Sector 2. And he'll make up even more time here on the main straight. He's laying hard in the ERS. This one's all straightaway speed. I think he'll be in the 109s, but I don't think he'll hit the 108s.
He did? Wow.
Well, I should have more confidence. 108.657 is good enough for 8. So that squeezes Ocean Lion out, and now it's Wild Nissan who is on the borderline with Ocean Lion, Boothie, and Dave Ewart trying to chase him. Ocean Lion and Boothie are both in pit lane right now. Nissan is in the middle of a lap right now, but he's down on time by almost a 1/5 of a second coming out of Sector 2. Dave Ewart has just completed a lap, but that lap was 1.6 seconds down. I don't know if he made a mistake and was using it as a cooldown to recharge the ERS or what. And Nissan has aborted. Collie Boy is also out on circuit right now, trying to see if he can go faster on another set of softs. Now we're seeing a lot of drivers filtering out of pit lane. Ocean Lion and Boothie seem to be two of them. Chubby has invalidated this lap, but I think he's just going to calm down and bring it into the pit lane. They'll probably throw on a set of softs on that Ferrari, so if something changes last minute, he'll be able to jump out onto the circuit. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. He's coming into pit lane now, but he's 8th. The cutoff right now is at 108.735. He is about 18 hundredths above that. This is the game that he plays almost every single week in Q2, whenever rain's not a factor, that is. All right, here comes Dave Ewart now. He's going to get a little bit of drafting help from his teammate Collie Boy farther up. Not a lot, but it might be enough to improve his time. But Dave has had another bad lap. He's going to be down by multiple seconds at the end of this one.
Billy goes second.
108.171, so that squeezed Chubby down now to the 9th position. So he could still end up getting squeezed out here. Nissan and Ocean Lion and Chubby all in pit lane right now. Boothie beginning another lap. Boothie, a great qualifier. Is he going to be able to squeeze his way in? Stone Shuffle out on circuit as well on an out lap. In the Ferrari camp, they've equipped Chubby with a set of soft tires, but he has not yet made the move to come back out onto the racetrack. As we continue to ride on board with Dave Ewart. It looks like it's going to be a 5-driver fight to try and get into Q3. Chubby, Nissan, Ocean Lion, Boothie, and Dave Ewart. Nissan has had an incident there in Sector 2. Here comes Dave Ewart to the pit lane.
Yeah.
And that's going to take him out of contention because with 1 minute and 55 seconds left, there is no way that he's only going to be able to complete a pit stop and will basically be 30 seconds and get around the track fast enough to get another lap in. So I think we can filter him out. Here comes Boothie to the line. He's up by 3/10 at the end of Sector 2. At the end of the lap, he jumps up to second, 108.013. Nissan is now squeezed out. Nissan has the medium tires equipped. He's trying to do what Chubby was doing earlier.
Chubby's coming out.
Chubby on the bubble. Ocean Lion, Dave Ewart in pit lane. So it's a fight between Chubby Spark and Wild Nissan to make it into the next round. Chubby Spark came out with just enough time. He will have time to make it work. Air Max ended up aborting the run on mediums and went to the softs again. So he is up to 3rd at the moment. Can Nissan improve? And Nissan trying to do the same thing that Chubby normally does. Will he be able to find time? Sector 2 is where you'll find the most difference between the soft and the medium tires. That's Boothie, who's had to spin farther up there. He'll pull side. Nissan's actually caught Chubby on the circuit. No, Nissan's down. Nissan is down. I don't think he's going to make it. He'll have enough time for one more lap, but it doesn't look like the mediums have the speed that he needs to get in. He's down by over a full second.
He's pitting. Chubby's through.
Yeah, he's pitting. That's it. Chubby's in. Chubby is into the next round as long as he doesn't total the car. So he does not need to push. He just needs to survive and pitter-patter the car around the circuit, and he can still start the race on the medium tire compounds.
Yep.
But is he going to push it regardless? Yes, he's still pushing it regardless by the looks of it. Chubby, it locked in right now as a driver, the only driver in the top 10 with a time on the mediums, but he might be willing to throw that all away here.
Oh no, he's backed off, he's realized.
No, he's pulled off. He's packed off, he's realized. So that's it.
Wow.
He will be starting the race on the medium tires, the same strategy he likes to use. All right. So with that in mind, qualifying is over, and once again, all three of your championship contenders, XRL Gusty, Chubby Spark, and Stone Shuffle, will advance into the final round of qualifying. The drivers that did not advance, Constant Jet crashed out, while Nissan not able to get the car set up right on the mediums to make it in. Ocean Lion and Dave Ewart just ran out of time and could not put good laps down whatsoever. The drivers that will advance though, Chubby Spark, XRL Snake, Gilebend, XRL Gusty, Collie Boy, Air Max 8841, Stone Shuffle, Boothly 116, Rabago 91, and XRL Fiend. With that in mind, the session is now over. All right, and there's your top 10 lineup. One kind of benefit / negative for Chubby is that he now has a set of soft tires, though, that are scuffed from that aborted lap. So they will get up to speed real quickly, but they're not going to hold as much long-term speed as a normal set of softs. But you see there, the spread from top to bottom, top 10, all within a second of each other. Chubby really holding back and not showing his maximum potential. He's still within a second of Fiend's time at the end on a slower tire compound. I think we could see Chubby going for another front row or front 2-row starting position. I think what's really going to be interesting, though, is going to be Fiend and Air Max. They both have a lot of speed in their cars. We could see the two of them having a nice little shootout for the pole between each other. All right, preparing to load up to the final round of qualifying here. 10 drivers will set the front 5 rows and try to get pole position here. A bit of a fog seems to have descended on the circuit again now. I'm seeing a lot of movement in the Mercedes pit, but the first driver to get out, it's raining! It's raining! I think it's raining again. Yes! I'm seeing rain! Yeah. We're going to have a rainy qualifying session 3. There are a bunch of drivers trying to rush out into the circuit now to get a lap in before DRS is shut off. There's a little bit of a backup there as Gilebin comes out right in front of Boothie on the circuit. But right now, it looks like the first driver onto the circuit is going to be Collie Boy. So he needs to get out there and get laps in as soon as possible. Fiend, he'll let Fiend by. So Fiend in a position where he could lock up the pole position very early here. It's all going to be a matter of getting a lap in as soon as possible and keeping your mistakes to a minimum. We saw this in the X3 final round of qualifying at Mexico a few weeks back. Now the same thing happening here. Everyone on soft tires right now. The only driver not on circuit is Stone Shuffle. There's not really a whole lot of gap between the cars. I'm looking at Gilebin, Herbago, and Chubby. They're all right on top of each other right now. It looks like Herbago will let Chubby by, but still, a lot of cars all on top of each other. And Gusty is going to pull off there to let someone by. All right, Fiend in the middle of his lap. The track's still dry for the moment. But how long will it stay dry as conditions change from second to second? DRS still enabled. That's going to be the real deciding factor. Once DRS is shut off due to how improved speed here is in sectors 1 and 3, when DRS is off, you basically have no chance to improve unless obviously your first lap was absolutely god-awful. All 9 drivers, Stone Shuffle is the only exception, but 9 drivers on circuit right now trying to chase time. Fiend in the catbird seat. He has the best track conditions possible working in his favor. 51.5 at the end of Sector 2. Now the run uphill to the start-finish line. At the line for Fiend. 108.123. Now here comes Collie Boy. 108.770, here comes Snake. 108.334. Yelevin coming to the line with a 108.756.
Shelby gets second.
108.237 right now. Herbago, 108.660. Now we see Boothby with a 109.180. Gusty with a 109.528. Air Max coming to the line now in the Williams.
That's the track starting to have an effect
Yeah,
now.
the track's falling off now. That could be it. I know we see everyone else still on circuit, still pumping laps, with the exception of Stone Shuffle. Oh, Fiend with a massive twitch there in Sector 2. He's low on fuel, so the car is lighter, but grip is falling away.
Fast. Yep.
That's Snake, who's had an incident in Sector 2. He pulls over to let Chubby through. Fiend coming uphill. Will he pit or will he go for another lap? He's pitting.
Yep. Yep, chopped
Here
in by a
comes
second.
Hollywood.
Yep.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to come in now.
Yep, Quali's over. Quali is done.
Yeah, we see Chubby coming in now. Snake is coming in. Herbago, he's going to come in.
That Stone Shuffle just going out now.
Yeah, Stone Shuffle
Thank
waited a
you.
long time to go out. The advantage to Stone Shuffle is that there's not going to be anyone else on the track he has to worry about. The bad news for Stone Shuffle, though, is that, well, there's very little grip left on the circuit, and DRS could get shut off at any moment. Boothby is still out on circuit, though. He seems to think that he can go faster. He's only down. Boothby's only down by 21 hundredths at the end of Sector 1. Big runoff there in Sector 2, but it's still legal. He's still going. So only 2 cars on track right now, Boothby and Stone Shuffle. Oh, and Boothby is around! Big spin, big slide, and just barely nicks the wall. Wow!
Oh.
Wow! That was incredible. You don't normally see half-mile slides like that. Those tires are still hot, though. He's having trouble keeping the car on the circuit. Whew. Wow, I think that may have taken a few months off his life.
A few people come out again. Gusty's coming out.
Gelebin has equipped intermediate tires in pit lane, but he has not come out into the circuit. This is going to be frustrating for Stone Shuffle because that's Gusty, one of his championship rivals ahead of him. Could Gusty be coming out on track, trying to hold up Stone Shuffle and cause Stone Shuffle to have an incident? It really doesn't matter, though, because right now Stone Shuffle is basically locked into a 10th place starting position. That's Herbago, who is behind Stone Shuffle. DRS, while it's still on, there's no guarantee if it's going to get shut off or not. I guess Gusty is saying, well, look, I can't really be any worse than 9th or 10th right now. He's just trying to see if maybe he can squeeze something else out. But the track is almost gone. You can see Stone Shuffle dealing with a pretty significant twitch there in Sector 2.
Nice exit there.
This will probably be a time in the 111 range.
Yeah. Yeah.
111.726. So yeah, the track is just too far gone to really do anything with. Gusty trying to make something happen, as is Herbago, and Gusty invalidates there in turn 3. And for Herbago, I really wouldn't even bother coming back out into the circuit. The track is so wet at this point, and Herbago already has what's basically a second row starting position locked up. And on slick tires like this, on a rapidly wettening race circuit, you're just running the risk of destroying the car. I think for all these drivers, they should just go ahead and come in and pit and thank their stars that they've not destroyed their cars. Hey, that was a rhyme. Stone Shuffle down already by 1.8 seconds. Fuel lights flashing, so yeah, Stone Shuffle will definitely be coming into the pits and will likely be done with the session. For Air Max, he looks like he's going to be in 8th place starting position. Could have been better, but he was a little bit late getting out on circuit. and the track was just falling away from him in the end of his lap. Herbago still out on circuit, though.
So is Gusty. He's struggling.
Yeah, I think the track is basically gone for Gusty. I think it's become a risk, to say the least. But Herbago's still pumping them out at the end of Sector 1. He's now, in just a single sector, he's down by 1.7 seconds alone.
Yeah.
I do not know what he's going for right now. Here we are, we're now seeing other drivers retiring in the pits, knowing that there's no point in going out again. I don't understand why Herbago's still out there.
I don't know.
He's tempting fate, like, way, way more than anyone should. I think he realizes that now, because I see him backing off significantly in Sector 2, and he's not using the ERS at all. So he'll probably come into the pits and retire, but still.
I would have banned it by now. You seen that yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
But you
yeah.
still recovered from it, though.
Oh yeah, P3.
Bend it like twice in the first 5 laps and still came back with a P3. And you didn't exactly have a whole lot of safety cars to help you out there. Most of it was just good strategy and pace.
Yeah. Hoping for the same today later on. We'll see. Not obviously. Not obviously pinning it in quality though. I don't want that to happen.
Well, to be fair, I will say this. What did help you a little bit was that a lot of drivers farther up obviously spilled their spaghetti with, you know, way under fueling their cars.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a much longer race as well, so you had more time to actually, you know, adapt and change based on the circumstances.
Yeah. I think there was a good. I think there was a few that unfortunately underfueled. I think I took 3 laps, but still gained a bit under safety. I think the one safety car helped me. But yeah, there was like a few that didn't manage it with the fuel.
All right. Yeah. All right, so with less than 2 minutes left in the session, it's just a matter of when Boothie and Air Max officially withdraw their cars from the qualifying session. Now we're just waiting on Boothie. Once Boothie withdraws, Q3 will come to a early end.
If he's walked away, guaranteed from his controller.
Probably has, yeah. Well, let's go ahead real quickly and try to get XRL Fiend in here. I want to hear what he has to say about that outstanding run to the pole position. I got him an invite. I already sent him an invite.
No one's feeling an interview today.
Yeah, Constant Jet has, but no one else has. I think everyone's just way too focused. Either that or maybe they're scared of being sucked up by a fat mess. Yeah, it looks like no one's willing to jump in. I'm guessing Boothie had stepped away from his console, and that's why he's not retired, so... Because we saw DRS got disabled about 2 minutes ago, so yeah. There's no reason for people to be going out on circuit at this point. Alright, and there we are. That's the end of the session. So, XRL Fiend will be starting on pole position. Shelby Spark will be starting second. Great runs for both of them. Snake, one of his best qualifying runs thus far this season, will be starting third. Herbago and the Mercedes will be starting fourth. Jalebin starting fifth. Collie Boy will be starting sixth. Boothie will be starting seventh. Air Max will be starting eighth, although frankly, he honestly could have probably been top 3 starter. XRL Gusty will be starting ninth, and Stone Stuff will be starting 10th. For Shelby, this is great news for him because if it's a dry racetrack, he gets to start on the front row with medium tires and go long. Gusty and Stone Shuffle, on the other hand, are on soft tires. They're starting in the middle of a bunch of other people with soft tires, and they're way behind their championship rival, so they both are going to have to start making up ground pretty much right from the get-go here. So now it looks like we're just waiting to get on circuit. So this will be one thing that will hurt Shelby a little bit. The track seems to be green again, so all the little bit of rubber that had been set down in Q2, it's all gone again. So it's going to be a very, very clean and green racetrack. Most of the people who will be on softs will have a slight advantage because they'll have a little bit more grip, but still, this is going to get very interesting for the start of the race, to say the least. As we look at the race director real quickly, Shelby Sparks starting second on the mediums, but I'm looking through the lineup. It seems like every other person on track is electing to start on the soft tire compounds. So this could get really interesting really fast here. Just stand by right now. We're anticipating to go green in about 3 to 4 minutes here. Apparently, the situation for Stone Shuffle is that he had to step away to utilize the latrine before he got underway with the race itself. So, for Q3 itself. So that was the main reason he got kind of screwed there. Mantic Meerkat trying to get points. As real quickly, we're going to go ahead and give you an update on the championship standings as they are right now. In the Manufacturers Championship, it is AlphaTauri with 70, Alpine with 101, Alfa Romeo with 126, Williams with 136, McLaren 148, Haas 161, Red Bull 167, Mercedes 214, Aston Martin 248, Scuderia Ferrari 256. In the Drivers' Championship, Herbago and Constant Jet still have yet to earn points. Plastic Love has earned 4. XRL Pingu has earned 18. Wild Nissan has earned 21. Fratters with 25. Dave Ewart 23 with 29 points. Boothie with 33 points. Flavor with 39. Jalebin with 44, Ocean Line with 47, Collie Boy with 52, XRL Snake has 56, Exits the Spot has 65 points, Schumacher SF7 has 81 points, XRL Fiend is staying at 101 points in 5th, 4th is V8 Irons with 128. For your championship contenders, XRL Gussie has 163 points, 2nd is Stone Shuffle with 168 points, Chubby Spark has 172 points. So between your 3 championship contenders is a spread of 9 points, a little bit of chaos, and that championship fight could go almost any way. Just stand by right now. Oh, there we are. Okay. Hey, Anderson, you there? No, he is not there. All right. Preparing to get loaded onto the racetrack now.
Hello?
10 seconds. Yep. Go ahead and focus on the back of the field.
Yep,
Cut
I'll
me
get
off if you
back.
see anything happen.
Yep. Sorry, my mic wasn't working there.
It's cool.
Right.
Alright, and there are the lights. 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out. Away we go here at Brazil. And Fiend has an absolutely wonderful start. It's not so good for Shelby as Snake's coming around the outside to try and get by him. Neck and neck for a second position. And there's a spin. And then both spins. Second and third place positions both spin. And the Ferrari comes in, sailing in with the Williams. And there's a bunch of cars all over the circuit. Ocean Lion's off. Shelby's off. Flavor's gone off circuit. Schumacher's been involved in the incident. It's yellow flags in sector 1, but not a full course
Shelby's
yellow.
back in.
Oh, and it's gone from bad to worse for your championship points leader. No damage to the car, but the medium tires have no grip whatsoever. And now he has gone from second to last and might be at risk of going a lap down. He needs a yellow flag to bunch the field up as soon as possible. Air Max has also had a horrible start. He has fallen all the way back to the 13th position behind Constant Jet. Farther up, Breezy, Stone Shuffle fighting for the points paying positions in 10th.
No, Air Max is gone.
Air Max is out. And that's right in the middle of the racing line there in Sector 2.
Whoa.
That's a virtual safety car.
It's got to go a full safety car for that. That's...
And Schumacher, the entire front wing's ripped off there. This will help Chubby a little bit because the field won't be as spread out. He'll gain a few positions back as other drivers like to come into the pits.
Can we just talk about the gap Fiend has?
Oh yeah, Fiend nailed that start perfectly. Snake and
gone.
Chubby go side by side into Sector 2. They spin in front of the entire field, and basically everyone from Herbago back gets held up.
Fuelie Boy up to third as well. Really good start from him. He's up 3.
One other driver who really benefited, Gusty, one of your championship contenders, goes from 9th up to 5th in what's basically about half a lap, so outstanding job on his part.
VSC
Chubby
should be
Spark
in.
has now worked his way up into... Yeah, Chubby Spark worked his way up to 16th by virtue of Dave Ewart, Mantic Meerkat, and Schumacher all having to pit to repair damage in that first lap incident. Snake is the real lucky and fortunate one, though, despite spinning right out of second.
Oh, he's got,
No one else hit him. Oh!
Just
And
as you
just as
speak
I was
of it.
saying, he got lucky, and he gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. The other thing to consider, Breezy, who crashed out in the first round of qualifying, he's up into 10th. And he's right there behind Stone Shuffle. DRS has been enabled, so this is where the fun begins, ladies and gentlemen. Breezy going to try to overtake Stone Shuffle on the outside without DRS assistance going into turn 1. Crossover. He made it stick. As now Snake serves his drive-through penalty. Gusty has gotten by Collie Boy, and now Gusty is in 4th position behind Gelebin. But that start could not have gone better than it did for Fiend. It was absolutely perfect run off the line, avoids all the chaos at the start, and it was only a virtual safety car, not a full course safety car, so he was able to maintain a lot of that advantage that he got in those first 3 corners. Outstanding job on his part. Boothie right behind his teammate V8 Irons, and Irons will have DRS on Collie Boy, but Collie has DRS on Gusty. Collie Boy ended up in the dirt for just a moment there. Gusty closing in with speed on Gelebin, coming into turn 1. For the 3rd position, Gusty goes to the outside. He'll hold it around the outside of the Haas in turn 1. We'll have the nose ahead in turn 2. That both compromises their lines. No worry though, because Collie Boy gets by V8 Irons for 5th position behind them. Now V8 Irons is coming back with a charge of his own, going into turn 4. Around the near 90-degree corner, and Irons will take the position back. That leaves Collie Boy up into threat from Boothie.
Yep.
As Gelebin now behind Gusty. Gusty in the podium positions now.
I think for the back of the field at Flavor, they need a safety car or something.
Indeed, Constant Jet right now hanging out in the 11th position. Just 1 spot out of the points-paying positions at the moment. But look at this fight from about 3rd on back. Now Gusty is the one leading this DRS train onto the main straightaway, but he doesn't have DRS. Gelebin is faster on pure acceleration alone, and now he has DRS. He's going to walk by. Here comes V8 Irons. It's going to be nearly 3 wide coming into the braking zone. And Irons goes from 5th to 3rd in a single straightaway. He goes off circuit, though, cuts the track significantly back, and he's going to have to fall back in line in 5th. Might even lose that position to Collie Boy now.
Gone sort of a 3-second time penalty.
And Gelebin on the inside of Gusty. Gusty, Gelebin still side by side here in Sector 2. One of them guys to pull out. Who's it going to be? And it's going to be Gelebin who pulls out, and V8 Irons gets held up in the process.
Wow, this,
Now Irons to the inside of Gelebin. No contact. No, there's just a bit of contact. They're still side by side. This is perfect for Gusty. This will enable him to run away from this group a bit. Oh, Collie Boy gets knocked off, and Bootsy is off as well. And that'll promote Constant Jet back up into 9th now. And for Gusty, that's perfect, because although Irons is within DRS range, he's still 9/10 out. There's no guarantee that Irons will be able to close in enough on Gusty to try and fight with him. I take that back. He's catching him fast on the straightaway.
Boys, oh, cool, now hit the back of Breezy there.
Bootsy, Nissan jumping into the pit lane. I think they had to repair some damage. Stone Shuffle hanging out behind Collie Boy, but not in a position to do anything right now. But second and third in the championship in the points-paying positions, while your championship leader coming into this race is right now back there in 13th position.
Yep.
Although, to be fair, in Shelby's favor, he has gotten by and overtaken Mantic Meerkat. He's 3.5 seconds out from Flavor, and it's more than likely that he will be able to catch Flavor. But once he gets to 12, I don't know if he'll be able to continue making up ground from that point. All right, Irons. He does not have a good run coming onto the main straightaway this time. He will have DRS on Gusty to negate the poor acceleration out of the final corner. But still, he's not going to be able to fight with Gusty going into turn 1 this lap. He'll have to nail turns 1, 2, and 3 if he wants to get ahead of the Red Bull going down the second straightaway. Much better exit from Irons. Gusty defends the inside now. He starts drifting to a middle lane. Irons is still behind. Irons looks to the inside. Side by side. Dave Ewart has had an incident. And that's up in sector 3 in the middle of the racetrack. That's the full course safety car that all the guys in the back needed.
He's lost at the curve coming round.
And the full course safety car comes out. We're going to try and talk with Dave Ewart here. Frustration for him. Oh, Air Max has had DNF also, and I missed that somewhere.
That was at the start.
Oh yeah, that was at the start. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. I had forgotten. All right, coming in the party now is Dave Ewart. Dave, go ahead, include your audio. Big axe down the front straightaway. What happened there?
I was just pushing too much line the last corner, and the gap just gave way, and that was it. At that speed, you're just going into the wall.
Well, it was a massive impact. It's a shame to see that happen, but I do have to ask though, do you think you can rebound from this next week?
Hopefully. We'll see. We've got a few races left of the season, and it's just about to try to get as many points as you can now at that stage.
All right, well, thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us. It's a shame to see you knocked out this early in an event.
Thanks, man.
All right. So this is how, with this yellow flag, this is how things have shaken up a bit. Stone Shuffle elected to stay out on his worn soft tires. He now inherits the race lead. XRL Fiend is now second on a set of fresh mediums. Constant Jet stayed out. He is now third. Herbago pitted, but he put on hards. So Herbago not anticipating stopping at all for the rest of this race now. V Irons is in fifth with fresh mediums. Gusty is sixth with fresh mediums. Glebin 7th with fresh sauce. Flavor has his worn softs. He's in 8th. Shelby Spark now back in the points position on his worn mediums. He is now 9th. XRL Breezy is filtered into 10th. Schumacher, who was at risk of going a lap down, he is now 11th with moderately worn softs. Collie Boy is going to be 12th with fresh mediums. Plastic Glove 13th with fresh softs. Boothie had pitted just before the yellow flag, so this has worked out moderately for him. He's now in 14th. Ocean Lion is 15th with fresh mediums. Wild Nissan has barely used sauce. He had also pitted just before the yellow flag came out. He's 16th. Mantic Meerkat is now 17th, and XRL Snake is now 18th. And the field's going to be really close, really quickly bunched back up. It looks like we'll be going green by lap 10 here.
One that probably didn't want to see the safety car was Fiend because he was 5 seconds ahead.
Yeah, now he's behind, although he does have fresh mediums, and this means that he will be able to get the mandatory alternate tire compound out. Without a doubt, softs have been the dominant tire compound here at Brazil, but you are required to run at least 2 different compounds in a race. The only exception is if it's a wet weather race. If rain falls at any point, it doesn't matter. You can run a single compound through the entire event if you so choose. Alright, so the entire field's pretty much bunched up now. All 3 of the championship contenders back in the points, but things have changed again because Stone Shuffle, Warren Softs leading, Gusty, fresh mediums, upper mid-pack, Shelby, Warren mediums, mid-pack. So this will be interesting. But already, though, Shelby recovering from that lap 1 multi-car spin that he had a big part in. Also in the Manufacturers Championship, Boothie out of the points. He needs to get back into the points-paying positions. His teammate Irons is in the top 10 right now, hanging out in 5th, but he'll want Boothie to be there as well to kind of help it. A lot of stop-and-go stuff going on here in Sector 2. This is the kind of scenario where we normally see the bullcrap 5-second time penalty show up at.
Safety car in this lap.
Alright, how does Stone Shuffle control the field coming to the green flag? He keeps them relatively bunched up and then shoots out like a cannon just past the pit lane entry point, but Fiend does not let him get away that much. The front 2 are pulling away from Constant Jet in 3rd.
Pretty clean at the
Further
back.
down, V8 Irons is being hounded by Gusty, going down the back straightaway now. Flavor trying to hold off Chubby, Spark, and XRL. Breezy trying to look for a room. He can't see any room. Gusty has to take the outside line. He gets run a little bit wide by Chubby Spark. There's damage. Somebody has wing damage. Who was that? Breezy was front wing plate damage, contact with Flavor, and that's significantly going to hurt him.
Yeah.
As now Schumacher is right behind, and behind him is Collie Boy, Flavor, Plastic Glove. Flavor goes off into the grass there.
Yep, something happened there.
Yeah, it looks like he's pulled off. He realizes that he just does not have the car necessary to compete. All right, Fiend right there behind Stone Shuffle. DRS hasn't been enabled yet, but Fiend doesn't care. He wants to overtake Stone Shuffle with normal draft.
Irons on her way out. Herbago.
Collie Boy, time penalty for track violations. And Herbago will just stay behind Irons for a little bit longer. So Irons now up in the 4th position.
Irons took both, yeah. Irons overtook.
As Breezy comes into the pit lane, and this might trap Breezy a lap down depending on how the rest of this race goes. Collie Boy, Plastic Glove, Fine Plastic's actually going to lose several positions down the straightaway. Then he glitches out for just a bit. Where in the world is he? He's stuck inside of an Aston Martin. Now back out. He's teleporting all over the circuit like a madman.
Last 3 seconds.
He's hemorrhaging time now. The lag not helping him one bit, and he has now been relegated back to 16th position. The good news, though, is that he should be far enough away that his lag should not be causing other drivers an issue. Oh, Irons has gotten by Constant Jet now. And now Herbago, Irons had an even better run than there. Here we are, Constant Jet had a really bad run getting out of the straightaway. Look at this, the entire field in the top 3, well, not top 3, but everyone from 3rd on back, all on top of each other, going into turn number 1. Irons, 5-second penalty for cutting the corner, and that's apparently how the game thinks he got by Constant Jet.
Fiend overtook Stone Shuffle as well. And at this rate with Herbago on hards, I think Fiend and Stone Shuffle is having a bit as well.
Irons is on a mission. He is trying to rush up to the battle between Fiend and Stone Shuffle right now. He's already opening a bit of a gap on Herbago, as Herbago is struggling dealing with Gusty and Jalebin behind. Constant Jet, not a great start coming, not a great acceleration out of the final corner on the prior lap, and now it seems like that car is struggling massively. He is on some of the oldest tires on the grid right now, and I think they're giving up grip. Here comes the Ferraris of Schumacher and Shelby Spark trying to rush up to catch Constant Jet now. Schumacher behind Constant Jet. He gets the DRS. Jet comes into the pits, and that means that Schumacher and Shelby basically get a free round of DRS. Jet, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, and Collie Boy spins in front of the field and hits the McLaren of Mantic Meerkat.
That's a big one there. Bolly was doing so well. He was running at third at one point.
Also, Ocean Lion has lost a position in Plastic Glove. Does Ocean Lion have wing damage from that? No, it doesn't look like it. Now Irons has a time penalty for track violation. He is charging down on Fiend and Stone Shuffle, but he is earning numerous time penalties in the process.
Yeah.
Stone Shuffle has fallen more than 1.6 seconds away from Fiend. I think the soft tires have basically fallen off a cliff at this point. Everyone who is on old soft tires just cannot seem to keep pace with the other drivers at this point. For Stone Shuffle, this could go bad quickly. He needs to get off those tires as soon as possible. Now the good news is he's still in second, so he can afford to lose a little bit of time, and it's not going to hurt him horrendously, but it's not a great position for him.
Snake and Michael Bessa. I think Snake's got the job done there. Yeah, pushing
around
out
the
wide
inside.
And yep, nicely
And now
done.
Boothie's coming to the pits to repair damage to that car, so that will drop Boothie out of points paying contention for the moment. Jalebin gets by Herbago, so fresh softs for the moment, way better than those hards.
Something there.
Who's that?
That's Plastic. He's spun.
Plastic Glove, another incident.
Googly's in the pits. He's put on hard. Googly's has won it in the hard as well. And a new winning. Yeah.
Right now, Jalebin there in fifth behind Herbago. Herbago has hard tires, but moderately worn softs are still faster than barely worn hards right now. I think Jalebin's going to be able to easily clear Herbago going down the straight. Herbago 1.6 seconds away from Irons as Irons is going around the outside. Stone Shuffle neck and neck for position number 2. Easy DRS overtake by Irons. Jalebin does the same to Herbago down the straight as well. And Gusty is still hanging out there in 6th. Now he might have a chance at Herbago or Jalebin going down this next straightaway. Herbago closing back in on Jalebin on the back straightaway, but does not close enough to put himself in a position to make an overtake happen. Irons, 2.6 seconds out from Fiend, but Irons has 8 seconds at least worth of time penalties, while Fiend has none right now.
Yep.
Yellow flag, Sector 1, that's Breezy, who has had a little bit of an incident there, but he's already recovered and is back underway. Gusty being held up by Herbago. Herbago held up a bit by Jalebin in Sector 2, though we see coming out of that final real acceleration point, Herbago launches out with a great amount of speed, but not able to contain with Jalebin. Gusty actually closing on Herbago just a bit. DRS kicks in. Herbago's going to use it to close in. Stone Shuffle pinning out third now. As is Schumacher. So Stone Shuffle and Schumacher were both on 12-lap board and soft tires. They are going to get off those tires and will put on a different set of rubber now. Herbago still hanging out behind Jalebin. He's closing very well down the straights, but is not fast enough to get alongside the Haas.
So
Now Shelby Spark. Yeah, go ahead.
It's all come down at the back. There's quite a lot of gap time. So it's mostly at the front, mostly this fight, 3rd, 4th and 5th.
Well, here's one fight that's kicking off. Constant Jet on mediums has caught Schumacher as Schumacher comes out of the pits. Now Schumacher has the fresh softs, but as Constant Jet can stay within DRS range, that battle will gradually go in his favor. As that says soft tires fall off, it seems like the softs are basically dead after about 12 laps. The only driver not dealing with that same issue seems to be XRL Flavor. Per usual, he has gone 15 laps on this set of softs right now. Herbago closing in rapidly on Jalebin for third. He goes to the outside. He's finally alongside the Haas, but can he hold it around the outside? He's trying, can't make it stick though. Chubby comes in the pits. He's going to get off those medium tires that he's been using for so long. So for Chubby, it's going to be softs likely all the way to the end of this race. Snake now up into 6 and Mantic Meerkat up into 7. So the two McLarens, who at one point were dead last of all the cars running on the track, are now both in points paying positions. Also of note, Stone Shuffle has used the undercut to his advantage. He is back in the points paying positions in 9th, and he has the freshest tires of everyone in the top 10. Though I don't know how long that will last though, because Chubby, Spark, and Schumacher will eventually overtake Flavor. But those soft tires that they have will not last as long as Stone Shuffle's. So Shuffle should not have to pit again for the rest of this race. Gusty now there behind Herbago, but he's not really been able to do anything to Herbago. Herbago and Jalebin have been basically having their own little fight for third position, lap after lap. Jalebin ahead of Herbago this time. Now Herbago in the Mercedes coming around the outside, going to do the same thing that tried to happen the prior time. The Haas runs wide to squeeze the Mercedes a bit on the exit of 1 for a defensive move. Snake pitting out 6 now. He wants to get off those soft tires before they start falling off a cliff. Herbago looks to the outside of Jalebin, can't make anything stick there. And he's trapped behind the Haas for another lap. And as these guys are fighting, that is the lapped car of Collie Boy who's right behind him.
Yeah.
He probably won't contend directly into the fight, but there is still Gusty looking to do something here. Yellow flags, plastics out!
I think he's retired in the pit. He had connection problems, I think. He was lagging quite a fair bit.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Now, hopefully the game doesn't try to push him back onto the circuit. No, it will not. Okay, thank God.
That's unlucky.
All right, here we are. Gusty, Herbago, Jalebin, all on top of each other for third place once again. Herbago has a fantastic run on the Haas. He goes to the inside, neck and neck, and now the Mercedes easily clears the Haas down the straightaway. The soft tires are falling off significantly for Jalebin. This might leave him up to attack from Gusty behind.
Yep, Gusty's...
Jalebin fighting back against Herbago, going down the straight. Jalebin going around the outside. He'll get back by Herbago. So the tires aren't dead yet. Oh, but he runs off in the process. He holds onto the position, does not get a penalty. Here comes Gusty down Herbago.
Oh no!
No, he's made contact. He's off. He jumps. He skips over the grass and will fall to 5th and will get trapped behind the lap car of Collie Boy in the process, but no damage to the car at least. He is still 5th and still ahead of his 2 rivals in the championship right now.
I think he was really lucky there. That could have gone so much worse.
Typically, you don't ever want a scenario where you're off track and all 4 tires are off the ground, but Gusty got fortunate, and he's still in 5th position.
Yep.
All right, so Herbago has another run on Jalebin going down the straightaway now. Not as close as it was before, but he's coming with a head of steam. He goes to the outside. Jalebin's going to defend the inside once more. Neck and neck. The Haas sends it in deep. Herbago backs out early, so that way he has a better run through turns 2 and 3. But Jalebin lets off the throttle in 2 to back off Herbago. Now Herbago's held up a bit. They both go to the inside line. Now the Mercedes goes around the outside. A little bit of contact, and the Mercedes will take it. And he now holds up the Haas in anger. I think he's not happy with the way that Haas has been defending that position. Farther back, Stone Shuffle is using the lightly worn medium tires to close in on Ocean Lion for 7th position. He's behind Ocean. right now in Sector 2. He might be able to get a good DRS run going down the main straight. Gillespie, Hermago spun out! Hermago spun off there, coming out of the final corner. He gets respawned back onto the circuit, and that will drop him to 5th behind Gusty. So now the fight in the top 6 positions have top 7 realistically. We've all died. The top 6, Stone Shuffle and Ocean Lion is now the highest battle on the track. Stone Shuffle, fresh tires or fresher tires and DRS will easily overtake Ocean Lion going down the main straightaway. And farther back, Snake overtakes Flavor for 11th now.
We've got Buffy, Breezy, and Wilderness and all close together as well.
Goofy looking to the outside of Breezy.
Not quite, not quite. He will get... He gets a good exit here. Which he does.
But is it going to be enough? Breezy does not have DRS. Here comes Boothie with the head of steam. He goes to the inside, but has to back out of it.
That was close.
That will be controversial to say the least.
Yeah.
Ocean Lion not letting Stone Shuffle go that quickly though. He's holding on to Stone Shuffle through Sector 2 and might be able to use DRS to fight back against him. Right now in the championship, Gusty is poising himself to possibly walk out here with points. Glebin finally pitting out 3rd. The soft tires have gone too far, so now Gusty in 3rd, but there's the no, that's a lap car. Never mind. Yeah, it's Collie Boy that's behind Gusty right now, so that's not going to be an issue. Gusty, I think he might have to pit one more time before this race ends, though. Chubby Spark has... oh, no, I'm sorry. Chubby Spark has fallen off his teammate Schumacher a bit, but he's in 9th after Glebin has pitted, so all 3 of your championship contenders in the points-paying positions. Once more, Chubby's still trying to recover from a lap 1 turn 1 spin that he shared with a bunch of other drivers. And of everyone involved, he's recovered the best of them all, with the exception of Stone Shuffle, who's recovered up into 6th position. And Ocean Lion is losing touch and losing pace with Stone Shuffle. Boothie, time penalty, that's not going to help him in his fight against Breezy right now for the 15th spot. But near the front, XRL Fiend has pretty much walked off and dominated this race. Irons was closing for a bit earlier, but he's backed off significantly now. And there is no one around Fiend on the racetrack right now. He is flying high, wide, and handsome. Now the question is, can he finish the race? Because he's been in this scenario before and still not been able to bring it home.
You can blame you if he doesn't, you've just jinxed that.
Well, Schumacher, Shelby are still running in a little DRS train between the two of each other. It looks like Shelby does not feel as confident with going up through the field as Schumacher does. So Shelby's been holding on behind Schumacher and letting Schumacher cut his way through the field, and then Shelby follows through afterwards. They're both catching Ocean Lion for 7th now. All right, through the final real corner here on the track, Schumacher and Shelby will both have DRS.
Went off. And then Breezy's got off as well. Breezy's spun.
All right, here we are, bound for 7th. Here we go. The 2 Ferraris trying to DRS train their way by Ocean Lion. Easy overtake. So the Ferrari team continuing to work in tandem to make their way up through the grid. The next car on their sights will be Stone Shuffle, but Stone Shuffle himself has already caught Mantic Meerkat in 5th. So Shuffle, with the fresh medium tires, he knows he can make those mediums last to the end of this race, so he's trying to make up as much time and as much positions now as possible. For Schumacher and Shelby, they may have to pit one more time before this race is over, because their tires will be falling off.
Yeah. Look at Flavor in 23 lap all softs. That's crazy.
And the problem for Flavor is that those are the same tires he started the race on, so whatever set of tires he puts on next, there'll be an even worse set. The leaders have pitted. Fiend and Irons are both pitting out of the top spot. Is Gusty gonna pit or not? Yes, Gusty is coming into the pit as well. Fiend throws on a set of sauce, and surprisingly, I imagine Irons and Gusty would do the same. The good news for Herbago is that he will leapfrog at least one of them, leapfrog at least two of them. He might take the lead here because he's on hard tires that will be able to go to the end of this race. He's got a head of steam. He'll be side by side with Fiend going down the back straightaway. No, Fiend has it for the moment. And Fiend's soft tires will not fall off between now and the end of this race, but Herbago has filtered himself into second position. And if this goes green to the end, it looks like it could be a potentially good podium for him. Fiend is being held up by lap traffic in the form of Collie Boy. Collie moves out of the way for Fiend now and will let Herbago by in the process. That worked out better for Fiend than it did anyone else. Ocean Lion also paying him, he'll fall back to 15th. So now again, the Ferraris are in 4th and 5th position, but their tires are not likely to last to the end. They will likely have to pit one more time. Oh, Schumacher off circuit right in front of Chubby. Meerkat gets by Boothie back there for 11th, going into the tight pits of Sector 2. Flavor holding up Constant Jet and Ocean Lion now. Flavor has not yet pitted this entire race. Oh, and here's something else that's not going to make the Ferrari team happy. V8 Irons has caught both of the Ferraris, and Irons is on fresh softs, while the two Ferraris are still on well-worn soft tires. This battle is only going to go in Irons' favor as it goes on, and the Ferrari team and Irons have not had a whole lot of good interactions on the track, to say the least. Irons around the outside of Schumacher, a little bit of contact. Schumacher will hold the position for the moment. Irons trying to fight back. He wants to get alongside, going into the corner, makes a little bit of contact, but gets held up. It looks to me like the top 3 positions have pretty much solidified in place. I don't think we'll see any more movement from the top 3 spots. I think Fiend, Herbago, Stone Shuffle have locked themselves in place. Schumacher significantly holding Irons up right now in Sector 2. Irons absolutely livid. And now Schumacher shoots away out of a cannon. He's actually gotten out of DRS range from Irons. And the one who's really benefited from that is Chubby Spark, because this means that when Chubby inevitably has to pit to put on new tires, there's a higher likelihood he'll be able... All right, there we are. Schumacher coming into the pits now. So I imagine we'll see Chubby pitting the next lap to put on another set of softs that will take him to the end. Irons 2.3 seconds out from Chubby. He'll probably make most of that up in this lap with this fresh softs. And wherever Schumacher comes out, that will give us a good idea as to where Chubby's going to come out. And it's not looking good for the Ferrari team because it looks like Schumacher had wing damage as well.
Oh, Gusty
and he's serving the time penalty.
Oh, good overtake from Gusty there.
So, 3rd in the points, Gusty up into 7th, and it looks like he'll be even higher because Chubby still has to pit before this race is over. Nine laps to go. Does Chubby pit this lap? I imagine he would.
Yeah, he's got to.
It's better to pit now, so that way these softs aren't falling off a cliff.
Yeah. He doesn't?
Nope, he stays out in one more lap.
Oh, wow.
He might also try and go for fastest lap points. Irons has pitted behind him in 5th. So maybe Irons had some damage to his car as well. Irons wasn't really closing on the Ferrari whatsoever, so indeed there was front wing damage to the Aston Martin by the looks of it. We couldn't see it in our booth, but he definitely had issues. This is going to drop Irons to 10th, and Boothie really in a bad position because this means it's going to be an accidental double stack. No, they got Irons out just in time to fix Boothie, and another front wing change in the Aston Martin pit. Schumacher is going to have a chance, though, to chase after V8 Irons once more because Schumacher's tires are already up to pace, up to temperature. He's flying, trying to run down Irons. Farther up the grid, Gusty now behind Jalebin for the 5th position. Gusty still has fresh softs. Jalebin has much more worn mediums. So I think this battle should go in Gusty's favor without too much issue. I want to say outstanding job by the Mercedes team. Right now, they're looking to finish this race 2nd and 3rd. If they can pull that off, that would be absolutely fantastic for them. All right, here comes Gusty on Glebin. Looks to the outside. How's the Haas defend? He can't really defend. Gusty easily makes the overtake stick. Glebin's going to fight back. Oh, and he's around and hard into the wall. A massive accident.
That's unlucky. Wow.
And that's a full course safety car. Full course safety car is out, and the driver that benefits the most is going to be Stone Shuffle, Herbago, Stone Shuffle, and Shelby. Those three drivers can all elect to jump in, throw on another set of sauce, and potentially chase after Fiend for this race win. But Glebin, a gigantic accident coming out of turn 3. Going to invite Glebin into the party here real quickly. Constant Jet, Breezy, they're going to get chances to pit. That will help them significantly. Flavor had just put on new tires. All right, coming to the party now is Glebin. Go ahead, include your audio. A gigantic accident you had there. What happened that took you out?
Gusty had got by, and I knew I had a good run on him as he made a mistake going into the S's. And I just got on the throttle way too early and too hard, and the back end went. I could not save it. And it was horrible. I was having such a good day.
You were doing well.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So, just to verify, there was no actual contact between the two of you?
No, that was my own mistake. I dropped that all on my own.
That's unlucky, man.
Well, yeah, that's an absolute travesty, to say the least.
Yeah.
Well, yep, now to focus on to the next race.
All right, well, do you think you'll be able to rebound next race and repeat that kind of fantastic run that you were having?
I'm hoping so. I've been on a very good run of form. I've had points in four of my last 5 races, so I'm pretty confident that I can just get back on the horse and learn from the mistake and just go forward.
All right, well, it's a shame. It was great seeing you up there fighting with some of the best in X3. Hopefully we get to see that again. I'm really sorry for you, mate.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
All right, we now turn our focus back to the racetrack. Everybody except for Fiend, Wild Nissan, V8 Irons, and Schumacher SF7 pitted in the top 10 right now. And in the case of Irons and Schumacher, they had just pitted before the safety car irregardless, so they have very nearly fresh softs as well. While Nissan now has to pit, he realizes the mistake and he has no choice. He has to come in and pits now, so that's going to filter him farther down the grid by a significant amount. Likely will take him out of the top 10 positions. But now both McLarens are in the points, both Ferraris are in the points, both Mercedes, not only are they in the points, they're on the podium position still. This is going to get really interesting, both for the race, for Manufacturers' Championship, and Drivers' Championship.
Look at Chubby
And
in 4.
Boothby,
He's let's see.
well, here's the crazy thing. Your 3 championship contenders are 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They're all on top of each other. They all see each other right now. That's going to be like the big crazy thing to consider. They're all on fresh rubber. They've all had great pace today, and this is the first time they all 3 have been able to see each other on the track. And we're going to be going green. I think we're going to go green on lap 33, so we'll be going green with basically 4 laps to go here. This is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Bad news for Flavor and Collie Boy. They are both caught in the middle of the field, and they are not going to get a chance, by the looks of it, to get back onto the lead lap.
Yeah.
But for Boothie, he'll be able to catch the back of the grid. Boothie in a frustrating position because he only had those slightly worn mediums, same with Wild Nissan, so I don't know how much movement they're going to... Oh, and Meerkats has gotten a penalty for a collision with Schumacher. That's not going to help him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ocean Lion, he's going to catch up to the back of the grid as well. So will Constant Jet and Breezy. So yeah, we'll be going green on lap 32. I'm sorry, going green on lap 33. So it will be a 4-lap shootout. I think DRS is only going to be open for a single lap. So if Herbago can stay in touch with Fiend, he might be able to pull a last lap overtake on the Alpine. Fiend's tires are significantly more worn than everyone else behind him.
Yeah.
Meerkat coming into the pits. I'm guessing he's going to try and serve that 5-second time penalty now so it doesn't hurt him later, and he's also going to repair front wing damage. He should have enough time to he might catch the back of the field. It'll be close because Breezy has just caught Constant Jet, and they both have just caught the back of the field. Meerkat's about 16 seconds out from them right now. So Meerkat might not catch the back of the field, I'm sorry to say. All right, coming to the green flag. Fiend, how is he going to bunch the field up coming to the green? He has 2 Mercedes behind him. They've both been very strong, and there is a 3-car fight for the championship going on in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. A mistake by any of those 3 here could have disastrous effects on their run. Then at the same time, Boothie is now in 10th, and Irons is 6th. If Boothie and Irons can make up some good positions, they can claw back some much-needed points in the Manufacturers' Championship right now. And then also one last thing to talk about, in 12th is Constant Jet. He has yet to earn points this season. He just needs to avoid chaos, hope that lots of people ahead make mistakes. He could still walk out here with points today. Coming to the green flag, Herbago right underneath Fiend's rear wing. When will Fiend shoot out like a cannon?
Not yet. Not yet. No.
He waited, but Herbago timed it well. But not well enough. Gusty, Pilty with a collision with Irons. And that's not going to help Gusty whatsoever. And Irons, Snake, they're having a fight. There's a bunch of fights going on. Schumacher up into 9th. Boothie, Ocean Lion, fighting neck and neck. Here comes Constant Jet with a run. He makes a 3-wide overtake, but Meerkat's fighting back on the inside. Ocean Lion, Breezy fighting for 11th up there as well. Stone Shuffle behind his teammate Herbago. Herbago is right there behind Fiend. He needs to stay within DRS range of the Alpine. Fiend's tires are very badly worn.
Yep.
For Chubby, he wants to stay within DRS range of Stone Shuffle and try to leapfrog the Mercedes before this race is over. When they come to the line, it will be 3 laps to go. Out of the final real corner. Again, no DRS yet. Herbago just trying to use ERS and draft to keep pace with Fiend. It's not working. Fiend is very fast in a straight line. Stone Shuffle right behind Herbago. Stone Shuffle is going to actually look to the outside. He's going to try and overtake his teammate. He knows that if he can be ahead of his teammate, it can help him in the championship fight. Herbago's not letting him by that easily, though. Herbago's back in line behind Stone Shuffle. He has the line coming out to the back straightaway.
No, he's not going to try it.
Possible team orders in the Mercedes camp trying to benefit Stone Shuffle right now. Shelby is 4th, Gusty is 5th, Stone Shuffle is 2nd. So we could see Stone Shuffle walk out here with the points lead. Stone Shuffle also might have enough of a run that he could try and run down Fiend for this win. When they come to the line, it will be 2 laps to go. Shelby right there behind Herbago. But the DRS train is going to play havoc in this because once Fiend's opened up. Fiend is more than 1 second away from Stone Shuffle. So that means that it was close. It was close, but Stone Shuffle was just barely within as they came to the DRS straight. But that goes to show, though, that Fiend has good speed in Sector 2. Fiend might be able to open up more than a second from Stone Shuffle coming onto the back straightaway. If he does, then that means it's going to be Stone Shuffle, Herbago, Shelby, and Gusty all fighting for positions, and Fiend might be able to walk off with this. Yeah, Fiend is out of DRS range. Stone Shuffle is not out of DRS range from Herbago, so Herbago's going to be closing on Stone Shuffle, but he needs to defend against Chubby, who has DRS as well. This might work just well enough for Stone Shuffle. I think Herbago can use DRS as a defensive move to keep the Ferrari behind. Breezy right there behind Schumacher. Now he takes a dive. Contact between Haas and Ferrari.
That's not good.
Stone Shuffle, more than a second out from Fiend, coming to the DRS detection zone. He closes in just a little bit under braking. Will he be close enough to get DRS on Fiend? Yes, he will be, but he's not close enough to make a move by the looks of it. They're coming down to take the white flag. If Stone Shuffle wants to win this race, this will be his only series of champ. Shelby has DRS on Herbago. Herbago's trying to use DRS as a defense. Where does the Ferrari go?
On the other side. He's done it.
Up to third is your points leader, but will he be leading the points after this race is over? Gusty hanging out in fifth. Now Herbago fighting back on the outside. They both have DRS, but Herbago's gonna be able to shoot around the outside to get back by.
Oh, that was close.
Oh, not able to make it stick, and Irons is fighting with Gusty for positions. Gusty has also earned time penalties as well.
Irons on the inside, just gonna give way. None of them, no contact. Oh, just did well there.
At the front, Stone Shuffle now within half a second of Fiend. There's only gonna be one more DRS straight. Stone Shuffle needs to be right on the outpit if he wants a shot at this win. Checkers flags are in the air. Who is going to win this race? Will it be Fiend on these worn tires? Stone Shuffle. Maybe they take each other out and it ends up being Chubby somehow. Chubby is not within DRS range. Stone Shuffle charging with the vengeance. Fiend makes a twitch. They're going to be nearly side by side the line, but it's going to be Fiend at the victory. Stone Shuffle comes home second. Chubby will come home third. Herbago will come home fourth.
Wow.
Stank will get fifth. Irons will get sixth. Gusty will get seventh. Wild Nissan comes home eighth. Schumacher comes home ninth. Ocean Lion 10th. And again for Constant Jet. So close yet so far only 11th.
He's unlucky that. I'll try to get Fiend in the party.
Outstanding though. And Schumacher gets driver of the day. I don't know if I'd give it to them or if I'd give it to Chubby Spark, considering that Chubby had to come back from a lap 1 incident to finish like that. All right, coming into the party now is Stone Shuffle. Stone Shuffle, you came home in the second position, very nearly in that race. Outstanding drive. How in the world did you make that happen?
Well, actually, early in the race, I really didn't feel like I had the pace. I just felt miles off it. But as the fuel burnt off, the race kind of came to me, and the setup was a bit more comfortable because I was running quite low downforce on the rear, because I saw it was going to be a dry race, and that really compromised me in quality as well. But towards the end, I just felt so much more confident, and I think, honestly, if I had one more lap, I think I would have won the race there.
Yeah, you were closing with a vengeance. As you came across the line, your front wing was basically right under Fiend's rear wing. Margin of victory at the end, 0.133 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
All right, well, outstanding job on your part, mate, coming home in second. This will also help you significantly in the championship as well, because this will either, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this will either bring you into a tie for the championship, or you'll be within just a few points of the points lead leaving today.
Yeah, I think I'll be one behind, because I think there's 3 points difference, isn't there, between second and third, and I think there's 4 difference between me and Chubby 9 Spark at the moment.
That was 2. It was 16.
Is it? Is it? I thought it was 4. Oh well. I'll take it. I'm not going to argue.
All right, congratulations, Stone Shuffle. I want to talk with our race winner now, Fiend. Fiend, fantastic from start to finish today, and I think, from our perspective at least, we can peg your victory to qualifying session 3, where you maximized everything and you got every bit out of that track before it went bad. Run us through your, not just race, but qualifying as well, from your perspective.
Well, what a race that was. So it all begins last night in realistic XRL. I used the same setup as I did there, except yesterday, about part way through the race, I changed my wings down to 5. Just lowered the front wing a little bit, so I stuck with that for today. Q1 was what it was. It was a bit wet. Luckily, it didn't go dry. That was a little bit. I thought that might have happened right at the end, so that was lucky. Q2 was Q2, and then Q3 I got out second, and then got the lap in before the rain started, and then the race. Constant Jet did a great job after the first safety car, holding up the people behind, while I attacked Stone Shuffle into the first place. And And then the second safety car right at the end didn't go into the pits just to have that track position. Was worried on that final lap that Stone Shuffle might have overtook me, but he didn't. Or Rubago, sorry, or whoever it was who was behind me might have overtook me, but didn't. So yeah, a little bit lucky. Yeah, it's been a good it's been a good evening today. Hello.
Inside leaders vanished.
Insane.
I don't know what's happened to him.
Party.
Well, I don't know what's happened there. But no, well done today, Fiend. Yeah, he's either. I don't know where he's gone, but yeah, well done today, Fiend.
Can you
for
hear
winning.
me?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, no. But as I was saying, Fiend, it's great to see you finally pull this off. You've had so many races where you've had great runs this season, but have just not been able to be running at the finish. Now you finally not only are running at the finish, but a dominant near flag to flag victory. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, Constant, you did great today. I'm sorry. Yeah, thanks for the first safety car. You did a really good job.
All right, I also want to go ahead and talk real quickly to Chubby Spark. Chubby, you had a very interesting run throughout the day. You barely made it into Q3 again on a set of medium tires, only to find out, and you got to start second, only to find out that on a bloody green racetrack, there was no grip whatsoever, and you spin out and basically cause a 7-car incident right at the start of the race, and you somehow come back to finish third. What in the world was your day like from your perspective?
I don't know. This seems to happen like every other race. I just go to the back and I come through. I don't know. First corner, I'm not going to speak about that, but I feel as the person on the outside turned in, which spun me. But for the rest of the day, I do have to give most of the credit to Schumacher. We had perfect team play. He DRS'd me along. He was using like 4 or 5 wings, so I was just getting pulled along. I was using 9-8, so I can attribute that to him. And then when I pit a lap after him. I went on softs, and I was actually going to plan to go on those softs at the end because I was trying to catch a Stone Shuffle, but the safety car came out, and that pretty much saved my race. So I knew Gusty was going to catch up to me. So, yeah.
You did, I'll say this, you did an outstanding job restarting 4th, and you clawed, it was only realistically 1 position, but you still clawed your way up into 3rd. Do you think if you had another lap or 2, you could have had a chance to get Stone Shuffle or Fiend?
Oh no, I was planning. I was like, if I get to the finish, I was planning to get to lap 36. 36 was it. I had 0 ERS left. Actually, around the little pit lane thing, I was at 0 ERS, so I wouldn't have been able to catch them. They were also side by side. That would have been too risky. I'm just happy with 3rd. My heart was beating a little bit too fast at those last couple laps.
I share that with you,
All right.
Chubby.
Yeah, I'm like, I came back from last place to 3rd, and I'm like, I'm not going to mess this up like I did in Japan.
Yeah, outstanding job. The battle at the top of the points, extremely close. Seems to only be 1 point now separating yourself and Stone Shuffle. Gusty, while he obviously walked out here with a decent amount of points, the gap opens up a bit more. Between the two of you, and this goes to both Stone Shuffle and Chubby, between the two of you, who do you think has the advantage going through the rest of the season?
I'm not going to speak on that. That's just, I'm just not going to input anything there. I think it's whoever's the best driver. I think probably whoever gets the luckiest with safety cars also. That seems to be a recurring theme in all these races. So.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Like, safety cars play a massive part. Like, it can be luck of the draw where you end up coming out in the pack and who's gone long on tyres, etc. But I think it's basically track to track as to who's quickest and who's the fastest driver. I mean, we saw Gusty absolutely running away with it early season, but he's gone off the boil now. Fiend seems there or thereabouts in most races now. And then normally between myself and Chubby, we're ticking around there somewhere, so it's really difficult to tell, I think.
To be fair, I don't even think we're the best drivers. Like, I think there's faster drivers, they just make mistakes a little bit more. Like, no offense though. Like, I just think they make some mistakes more than,
well, that's part of it, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
at some tracks, you see drivers with 12, 15 seconds of penalties. It's like, you're not going to finish where you finish if you have that many penalties. So it's part of it, isn't it? You've just got to play the averages.
yeah.
All right. Well, I do want to say, once again, thanks to both of you for talking. Also, for both the Ferrari and the Mercedes team, outstanding points days for both of you guys today. Also, one more driver I want to talk to, Constant Jet. Jet, sadly, I'm talking to you post-race, and it's not to say congratulations on getting points. Once again, only one spot out. But I watched you on that final restart, and you were making moves like hardly anyone else was in the back of the field. I saw you going 2-3 wide when a lot of other people were just trying to keep the car together. What in the world was that race like from your perspective, Jet?
Let's hope there's a penalty for somebody else.
All right. Well, there is one other thing to say, Constant. I don't know if you were in the party for it, but your teammate and race winner, Fiend, went ahead and directly contributed part of that victory to you on the first restart, being able to hold up the field and let him open up a comfortable gap. So at least you can be confident and proud saying that you're good at playing the team game.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, I do want to say, Jet, thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us. I will say this, I have noticed over the season, your ability and your finishing positions have gradually improved, and you're a lot better at finishing races now. Time is running out, but if I had to put money down, I would go ahead and put a $5 down that you'll get at least 1 point by season's end. All right. Well, that's our talk with our winner, our entire podium, and also Constant Jet, who came home 11th. Once again, Fiend, congratulations on an outstanding flag-to-flag victory today.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Fiend.
All right. Well,
Thanks.
that will pretty much wrap up the. Yeah, that will pretty much wrap up. One more question towards Stone Shuffle. On the final restart, your teammate Herbago was second and you were third.
Yeah.
Was there team orders between the two of you for him to let you buy for the championship, or were you just that much faster than him?
There wasn't team orders, but I got the impression he might have moved aside without fighting it too much, because he moved quite far to the left on the straight before turn 1. So no, there wasn't, but I think he might have moved over.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well,
All right, thanks
also,
for
I
answering that.
thought he was gonna come hold me up. I'm like, oh no, because I needed to close that point gap on you, and I'm like, I saw you switch position. I'm like, oh no.
Well, I wish I could say it was planned.
All right. Well, anyways, once again, congratulations to everyone. This will pretty much wrap up our broadcast unless Mr. Anderson has anything he wants to add to the end of this race broadcast.
No, I'm good. That was fun.
I agree. It seems like, the less said about the dev race, the better. But it seems like for realistic and X3 at least, I've had an absolutely fantastic time watching you guys, so. Alright. But anyways, Congratulations to everyone. Outstanding performance, and we'll be looking forward to another great race in a week's time. For those of you who are still interested in watching some XRL racing at Brazil, there is one more event over this weekend. In about an hour's time on the main channel will be the X2 event, the last category for XRL running at Interlagos. Until then, or until next week when we see you, I've been your host, Insane Leader 13. I am glad to have been here able to broadcast this race for you all. Thank you and goodbye.